Hello YouTube, welcome to RH Make Studio, and I'm back making the UF-16 Inspector helmet from Helldivers 2.
Prove to yourself that you have the strength and the courage to be free. Join the Helldivers.
Helldivers 2 is full of awesome looking helmets, but only one of them really caught my eye. And lucky for me, Galactic Armory had just dropped the files on their Patreon. The link will be in the description below. The helmet was only 7 pieces, so I printed them in about 2 days on my Elegoo Neptune 4 3D printer using Elegoo PLA Plus filament. Once that was all done, I welded them together with a wood burner. Next up was the worst part of any project. I sanded the entire helmet with 180 grit sandpaper on my electric sander, and then moved on to wet sanding with 220 grit. Once it was looking a bit smoother, I broke out the Bondo glazing and spot putty and put that on any major blemishes, especially on overhangs in the print. When that dried, I then used the Bondo acetone mixture to cover the rest of the helmet. This is just a way to thin out the Bondo so it settles into the layer lines. I'll usually use around 1 part Bondo to 2 to 3 part acetone, or just mix until you have the proper consistency for what you want. After that, it was on to another wet sanding with 220 grit sandpaper to take the majority of the Bondo back off of the helmet. Now that that was done, we could get on to the priming. I started spraying Rust-Oleum 2-in-1 filler primer onto the helmet, and a major issue started to show up. That I would promptly ignore for future me to handle. This step is just rinse and repeat between sanding, priming, sanding, priming. Any sanding that I'm doing is with a 400 grit sandpaper with a wet sand. When I was happy with most of the helmet, I once again used more spot putty to get rid of those last few problem areas. There were tons of really prominent seams that I needed to keep clean and free of Bondo and filler, so I used the sacrificial dagger. Okay, so it's not a dagger, but it is a printmaking scribe. I use this and a linoleum cutter to clean those seams out. All of that new Bondo needed sanded down with a 400 grit sandpaper. Finally, I needed to confront that little problem I've been letting build up for a while. So what we're gonna have to do is go back a little bit, just right here. Right here, I didn't close this seam very good. And so I sanded all the way back through the primer, through the Bondo, down to the base, re-bondoed it, re-primed it, and we were back where we were. Painting for this was really simple as I only needed 3 colors. I used a Krylon matte black, matte white, and Rust-Oleum silver metallic. The helmet got a base coat of matte black, followed by some masking, and then I hit it with the matte white. With the base coats both done, we could move on to the silver. I think masking could count as a resupply stratagem, so with a down, down, up, right, we could have that ready to go. With the painting done, we could move on to making the visor while that got clear coated. This was just a simple piece of PETG clear plastic with a metallic red window tint put on top. Then we were on to the weathering. All I use is a 99-cent apple barrel black paint mixed with some water. I would let this sit on the helmet for about a minute, then wipe it back off the best I can. Last but not least, I could fill those vents on the front of the helmet with wire mesh. I used these screen repair patches and then backed them with black felt. With the helmet done, we could get to some glamour shots. I wanted to take a second to say thank you to anyone who's been watching my videos. I really appreciate all the support. With that being said, we're nearly at 100 subs, so if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing.